Hello, Australian Labradoodle fans and all of the Shadow Burst parents. This is your puppy birth announcement video. In today's video, we are going to tell you all about the birthing of these amazing petite Australian Labradoodle puppies. We're going to introduce you to each of these little puppies, and we're going to let you know a little bit about how things went with Raven. Hi, I'm Claire from Van Isle Labradoodles, and these little tiny puppies are just a few hours old. They started being born at 5:34 this morning, and we are able to do their birth announcement so quickly because Raven has had puppies before, and Raven and I share a very nice close bond, so she's not at all upset that we're in here filming her video of her puppies. She knows that each week her puppies will be videoed. She's used to that from her last litter, so she's quite comfortable, so we're not causing anybody any stress. So these puppies are quite a few days early. Today is Thursday, and they were actually expected to arrive on Monday. But just like with people, a due date for a dog is really a window. The Monday would have been the day that most average dogs would have their puppies, but puppies can be born anywhere from about day 56, 57 through to day 66. And when we say day and give it a number, what on earth does that mean? Well, you count the days from the day the dog ovulates. It's not from the day they're bred. It's not from the day they start their cycle. It's from the day that they ovulate. And how do we know when they ovulate? Well, we test our dogs. We do what's called a progesterone test. It's a very simple, short and quick little blood draw. And that tells us when the progesterone levels are at a certain number, we know that the dog has ovulated. And from that information, we then add 63 days, which is the average number of days a dog is pregnant for, and that's how we arrive at the due date. It's also how we determine when the dog should honeymoon, because normally what we do is about 48 hours after ovulation, we have the first breeding. We usually skip a day. Oh, look at how helpful she is. She's letting you see all her puppies by lifting her leg up there so you can see the one puppy at the end. And then after we do the first honeymoon day, then we go skip a day, and then we go ahead and do it again the day after. That's what we normally do. We, however, take all of that and into consideration, we also take our mom dog and our dad dog. We look at mom's body and we look for the physical signs that she is ready to honeymoon. We can see those and we'll know, yeah, she doesn't quite look like she's ready to go. And then if her behavior is back away, bozo, or if she's very playful and flirty with the boy, but not really interested in the honeymoon, then we know even though the test has told us that's the day, she's not ready. And usually we'll find that the dads will tell us by going, yeah, I'm interested in you, and yeah, you look pretty good to me, but I can kind of take it or leave it. I'll give it a try. But if you're going to tell me no, then I'm not really going to get fussed up about it. So we listen to them, we watch them, we observe them, and we let them be our ultimate guide. So in any event, Raven has 8 puppies. Raven's tiny. Raven herself only weighs 18 pounds, and she's about 15 inches high. She's a little girl. 8 puppies is a lot. She was enormous. Her stomach was practically on the ground. She was very uncomfortable. She didn't have very much room to eat, although she did eat really well. She ate remarkably well. But when she walked, this area of her back here was what we called roached. And that usually happens when a dog is uncomfortable. They pull themselves up like this to try and alleviate the pain that they're experiencing. So she wasn't in pain, but she was like, oh my gosh, this is really heavy to carry around. And she was also making sure she was keeping her belly up off the ground as well. Now you may hear some sounds while we're doing this video because right next door we have Kinsey and her puppies who are just 24 hours old. So Kinsey is in the stage where she likes to dig, and you can hear her puppies are all very unhappy about that. So when she digs, she's bringing the carpet up, she's moving the babies around, and they're like, "Mom, lie down so we can eat." They don't want that to happen. We also have renovations going on directly behind the wall here. We had hoped everything would sort of mesh together and that would be concluded when the puppies were born, but the puppies are here early, and of course, as always happens, the renovations are somewhat delayed. So there is a fair bit of noise in the ensuite as they're doing renovations. There's drills, there's hammering, there's saws, there's people talking, and Raven's like, nah, that's totally fine. Raven is very comfortable, very relaxed, not in the least bit worried or concerned about anything that's going on. So we were a bit surprised this morning when the puppies arrived, not completely. Last night, or even yesterday afternoon, we suspected that she might be starting her labor. She was shivering and panting, but she also had been panting and doing a few shivers just because of the level of discomfort by being so full with all these puppies inside her tummy. It's hard to believe all these bodies were in here. She also had gone for her preg exam at the vet yesterday, and going to the vet usually always involves dogs doing a little bit of shivering because none of them feel particularly comfortable at the vet. It's not that they're afraid. She walks in with no trouble, but there's always still a little bit of trepidation about what might be going to happen there. So she had a full day. A lot of things were going on. And so it was a little difficult to tell if she really was in labor or if she was just being uncomfortable. But she didn't eat dinner, and that was a really good sign. And so we got everything ready. Fortunately, we had enough time. Reynold was able to get all the puppy laundry done after Kinsey's puppies were born and before these puppies arrived. So we got everything quickly out, all the supplies back in place. And then at about 9:30, 10, I guess it was about 10, she took herself off to our bedroom, put herself to bed, and went sound to sleep. So we thought, oh, okay, well, all right, I guess we're not having puppies then overnight. So we went to bed, and then we woke up at about 2 this morning because I had thought I had heard her complaining about something. She had thrown up in the night, which is totally normal when you're getting close to having the babies, and she was doing a bit of panting. I went back to sleep. Reynold stayed awake with Raven, who was right beside him, because she was digging and panting and panting and panting. And so then at 5:34, we heard a cry from Raven, and we were underway, and puppy number 1 was beginning to come out of the exit zone there. So we quickly got everything. We got up, ran into the delivery room. Normally we have the puppies in our bedroom, but because the ensuite's being renovated, there's no space, and also there's tradespeople coming back and forth. And just because we started at 5:30 didn't mean that we would necessarily be finished before even 5:30 tonight. Normally it's quite usual to expect a puppy every 30 to 45 minutes, but a puppy an hour is also not in the least bit unusual. So because we didn't know how long it would take for all the puppies to arrive, we wanted to be sure we were somewhere far away from where all of that was taking place so that Raven would be comfortable. And then everything went so smoothly, except for thank goodness that Reynold is here helping me deliver the puppies, because I think Raven was trying to outdo Kinsey in terms of speed and set some record for having puppies in a hurry, because we hardly had any time in between the two of them, and indeed we had 2 born at the same time, which is quite a lot. There's a fair bit that goes on when you're birthing the puppies. And so it was a little frantic there for a while, wasn't it, Girly Q? Yes, you were busy. But of course, Raven handled it like a pro. She wasn't in the least bit concerned. She is just like, I want these puppies out, and I am popping them out as quickly as I can. So we have 8 puppies. We have 3 females, and we have 5 males. We did have 9 puppies, but what would have been puppy number 8 was an unformed fetus. So of course it was not viable. So something went wrong there. Probably what happened is that placenta did not attach correctly, and that's why that puppy was unformed. And thank goodness that Raven was able to deliver it. Sometimes when you have an unformed fetus like that, the moms don't deliver them, and when they don't deliver them, that's when you run into a trouble and you end up having to have a C-section. But there was no problem at all. She delivered that puppy. She knew right away that it wasn't a viable puppy and had absolutely zero interest in that puppy. And then shortly after, we had number 9, which is our 8th live birth. So now let's introduce you to all these little squiggle butts here. They're very tiny because they are completely brand new. So our firstborn is blue collar, and this is blue collar here. And our firstborn is also the biggest puppy in the litter. Now, because they're so new, she may not be too excited about me picking them up too high. So this little guy looks just like Rocky, the dad. He is a caramel abstract, and lots of pretty white markings on the face, loads of white on the chest there. He was born at 5:34 a.m. and he weighed 238 grams. So he is the biggest puppy. Next we had our first girl. There we go, baby girl. Yeah, that's a good girl. And that's pink color girl. And she's underneath here. She's probably found herself a spot at the milk bar on the underneath there. There we go. And pink collar girl looks a lot like Raven. She is a black phantom, and you can see she's got a little bit of white there. She doesn't have as much white as Mom has. See, little girl. And she is the smallest puppy in the litter. So we went from the biggest to the smallest. And little Pink was born at 5:41 a.m. and she weighed 166 grams. So she is just really wee. You can see how tiny she is. She easily fits into the palm of my hand there. And the collar is even longer than she is. She's so tiny. But that won't last for too long. Next, we had Black Collar Boy, and Black Collar Boy is, I believe, underneath here. Yep, there we go. And Black Collar Boy also looks just like his papa Rocky. A beautiful caramel, lots of white markings around the face, underneath on the body there. There's white on the back as well. A really nice golden caramel kind of color. And Black Collar Boy was born at 5:51. And sorry, Black is a female. My mistake, sorry. Oh no, usually Black is boys. Black is a girl. Black Collar Girl was born at 5:51 and she is 187 grams. And I think we need to turn the heat up just a little bit in here, Reynold. They are a little bit chilly. We like to keep it really warm. It is 24 degrees in here, but these puppies are just feeling a little bit chillier than I would like them to. Now, at the same time as Black Collar Girl was born, Red Collar was born, and Red Collar is a boy. And Red Collar, now you can see right now, you don't see many markings on Red Collar, mostly white. Red Collar is going to have the same colors as Black Collar has, all over his body here. On his head, you can see it on his ear here. He has another bit that's going to come on his middle of his head here. And he's got some on his eyes. You just can't see it yet. The color when it's born on a party is very pale. But there's lots of markings on the body and on the tail. And as time goes on over the next few weeks, we're going to see these just come in a little bit more. Same as he'll have more hair on his legs there. Because they are a couple of days early, that's why we've got so much pink showing through here. The same on the face, not a lot of hair on the extremities, on the legs there, on the ears where you can also see there's going to be color, and right around the nose area. They're all perfectly healthy though. Red was also born at 551 and is 177 grams. There we go. Oh, black, there you go. I'll give you a boost. Next was Yellow Collar, and Yellow Collar is a boy, and Yellow Collar is our only other party in the litter, and he is a chocolate party. When he was first born, we thought he was black. He's got some ick on top of his head here. That's just a little bit of dried blood from being born. Raven just hasn't got that cleaned up yet. I'll wipe him off when we finish this video. And you can see he too has a lot of pink on his face, and you can see the coat on his legs is hard to see because it is so white. And here you can see his markings are quite clear and easy to see already because they are the dark chocolate color as opposed to the lighter caramel color. So Mr. Yellow arrived at 601 and he was 195 grams. There you go, Buster. After that we had Green Collar. Green Collar. Where? Oh, here we are, right in front of me. Now Green Collar, there we go, is either a red dog or a red caramel. So what's the difference? It will depend on what color his nose is. If his nose is black, like Raven, sorry, keep calling you a niece, like Raven, he's red. If his nose is liver colored, like Daddy Rocky, he's a red caramel. Either way, he's super pretty. And this little guy was born at 6:29 a.m. and he was 157 grams. And you can see he's like, come on, get me back to the milk bar. I'm hungry. And we'll see if his spot is still there, or if, oh, there's a spot there that I can give you. See if you can find that. And next is Silver Collar. I just happened to pick Silver Collar up. Same, Silver Collar is also either a red dog or a red caramel. It doesn't mean any difference for what the color is of the dog. It simply is what color their nose is. And Mr. Silver Collar was born at 6:40 a.m. and weighed 208 grams. And then at 7:04 a.m. we had our Unformed puppy that arrived. And then after that at 7:12 a.m. we had our last puppy, who is White Collar. And White Collar is also a boy. This White Collar may not stay because white's pretty hard to keep clean in a litter of puppies. And this is our beautiful ebony and white puppy. Look at all that pretty white on this puppy. And then the white toes as well, which are always so cute to see. And this little rascal at 7:12, he arrived and he weighed 222 grams. And then that was it. We were all finished. And so that's really quite amazing to go from 5:30 in the morning to just after 7 in the morning and deliver 8 babies. It's quite something, Miss Raven. Yes, it's a lot of work. Raven's tired. She will probably, as soon as we wrap up here, have a nap. The puppies are still getting themselves sorted out. She's moving around a little bit, just getting herself comfortable as well. But she knows her way around the whelping box. She knows how to be a mom. She's an incredible mom. She did a great job last time. So we're just going to now leave her alone for the rest of the day, other than, of course, we'll feed her lunch and dinner and a few snacks. But basically, we're just going to leave her to her own devices. We're really fortunate in that a young girl who has one of our puppies from a few months ago, Sophie, she is staying at her cottage at the lake near us, and she is just the sweetest girl, and amazing with the dogs, and so she will come and spend some time sitting with the moms today, just so that they're comfortable and they're not concerned about what's going on in the background there. We don't have our guardian parents come to visit the moms for about a week to 10 days, just because that's very exciting for the dogs to show their family, look what I did. We want them to be fully settled, completely relaxed. The puppies all, well on their way to gaining weight before we have our guardians come, just because it is so exciting for our dogs. So in the meantime, they see myself, Reynold, Taylor, and Sophie today before she has to go home and go back to school again. So if you have a moment, we'd really appreciate it if you could drop a comment whenever you watch one of our videos. We hope you are enjoying the videos. If you're a family on this litter, you'll get an update video like this every week. And we hope you also can give us a thumbs up and make sure you're subscribed and that you've got the bell icon there so that you get notified every time we drop a video. We try to give you a little bit of new knowledge in each one. So we hope you enjoyed the video today, and welcome to our 8 petite Australian Labradoodles from the Shadow litter. Thanks so much for watching.